All right, in this video, we're going to show you how to turn your cube that's fully assembled into a 3D printable puzzle cube. So here we go. First thing we want to do is we want to create a new file for 3D printing. So we're going to go to File, Save As, and then all you're literally going to do is put for 3D print. So now we have our puzzle cube and our puzzle cube for 3D printing. And you can see that it changed the name of this. So this is going to be our 3D print file. We need to create air gaps all around our parts on all the interior pieces of this. So we're going to start with our red part. And we're going to go under the modify. There's an offset face. And every face that touches another face, all these interior faces here, and the whole backside, we're going to do a negative 0.005, a 5,000ths offset on all those faces. And what that just created, when I turn on the other parts, you're going to see that there's now an air gap between them of 5,000ths all the way around those parts. We want a 10,000th air gap. So we're going to do 5,000ths for each side of the part, and that will give us 10,000ths. So our red part is done. That one was pretty easy. Now, when we go to the purple or the blue part, this one here, we need to think, what are the exterior faces? So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those 4 faces are exterior, so they are not getting modified. The only ones we're modifying are interior faces. So when we do our offset, 1, 2, 3 in the backside are not. This one is, this one is, this one is. This is, this is, this is. And we should have 4 that are not. 1, the top, 3, 4. So this looks good. Negative 0.005. And there we go. Blue part is done. We could check it. I'm just going to say that it's good. But again, you should be able to look at it and you can see, okay, look at the gap here versus the gap right here. You can see that the purple gap, this gap is smaller between these two and smaller here, and this is larger. So we know that when we get all done, we're going to check all those gaps and make sure it's set. All right, let's look at our orange. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 faces that are not affected. The rest of them should be. So let's turn off everything else. Go to modify, go to offset face, interior. Oh, this one's going to give us an error. I like it. Okay. These are all interior faces. There should be 4 that aren't. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Now, when we do a negative 0.005 on this, you can see it gives us an error. The reason is because this right here, it doesn't know what to do with this line that is basically a connection line, but it isn't a connection line of this. So it has trouble. So here's how we fix that. We go into our part and we're going to just do an extrude of one of the faces that are touching. It can be this side, it can be this side, it does not matter. I'm going to pick this one and do a negative 0.005 offset on this side. And now you can see that it's created a gap between those 2 parts. Okay, that's what we want. We want it to have a gap right here. So now when we do the face offset, we don't select this face now. Okay, we ignore it. But we select all the other ones that we just did. See that? So those are our 12. We're missing 1. There it is. So there should be 11 of them. Because the last one we did, it said 12 up here. You want to go back in the video, you can see that. But here we go. There's our negative 5,000. See no error this time. You saw it shrink. Everybody see it shrink? So there it is. Then we go 5,000ths less. Everything shrinks a little bit. We're going to say okay. And now our orange part is complete. We're going to go activate our main component one more time. And then last one's our purple part. So you can see our purple is kind of everywhere here. It's got 1 down here. It's got 1 here, 1 here. So the nice thing about the purple part is that it's big, which means that it takes up like 3 spaces both in all 3 directions. So it makes it really easy to know which ones you have to offset. So it's everything that doesn't touch an outside wall. So that's an interior, that's exterior, exterior, interior, interior, exterior, interior, 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 interior. And that looks good. I think we got them all. Now I'm going to miss one on purpose. Do this is negative 0.005. And there we have it. And then I'm going to turn them all back on, and I'm going to show you why I did that on purpose, because I want you to know like how we check. So when we look at this right here, we're looking really at these corners. That makes a square. If it's wrong, that will be a rectangle. But we should be able to kind of zoom out, zoom in, and see are those consistent around those, and then just flip the side and then check again. Square, square. These look consistent, consistent. That all looks good. Rotate it. Square, 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 square. Those all look good and consistent. Flip it one more time. Square, square, consistent. Uh-oh. Look here. Does that look consistent? No. So it looks like the red is correct because the red and orange are good space, but this red and purple are not. So that tells me the purple, it extends too far over. Shouldn't extend that far. It should line up with this. So I got an issue there. And then I can do a flip. Oh, look right here. Not a square. It's rectangle, kind of in that corner. That looks good. Rectangle in this corner. See, something's not right there. So that's what I'm looking for. Looking for like those corners. That shouldn't be like that. So something's going on. Again, I can flip it to the bottom, check the bottom. These look pretty good. Oh, see that? This purple is overextending its welcome there. So something going on with that. That's kind of how I make the decision. Then I just go back to my purple part, and then I can highlight this, and I can like physically look and see, oh, what's messed up? Oh, I missed a few. So like, you see how this face isn't highlighted? And then you can see that the this face isn't highlighted right there. So I missed a couple faces when I was doing this. So again, I can turn these parts off. See if this one's not highlighted right there, nor is the other one over there. So I'm going to double click, hold down Control, and select the 2 faces that I missed. That one's good. And now I can look and see, okay, those all look good now. Now I hit OK. Turn everything back open. And then do a quick check again. Again, you can see that those gaps look good now. Again, that was the top. Square, square. Those lines all look good. Those look good. Those look good. Flip it. Those look good. And these look good. So see, that all looks better now. Got squares in corners. Everything looks solid. Once we've done our offsets, we're one step away. Highlight the whole thing. Go to fillet. You can do anywhere between a 20,000th fillet or a 50,000th fillet on these parts. I think either one is fine. I'm going to do a 50,000th on this. This looks good. All right, now we are ready to 3D print this guy. So we're going to save it. Everything's checked out. Also, it retains the original dimensions. Like you should be able to do like an inspect and go from this face to this face, and it still should be 1.5. Okay, the only thing that we did is we changed, the inner dimension stuff. That's it. We didn't change any of the exterior dimension features. Like if I do an inspect from this face here back to this face, that's 1.5. So it's still a 1.5 inch cube all the way around. We just created air gaps for our parts to fit together in this. All right, we're going to go to utilities up here at the top. And then we're going to click on make. And then we want to be in export. We want to be in STL binary and in millimeters for our units. And once you do that once, it should keep those settings. And the object we're going to select is the main cube. So up here, we're going to do the main name. Now, if you wanted different parts, like different colors, like if I wanted to print this on 4 3D printers in red, purple, blue, and orange, then I would just select the individual part and export each piece individually. But I'm going to do the whole cube at once. It's going to be one file. I'm going to say okay. It's got a name. Typically want to put my name on it. So Wilkins PC for Puzzle Cube. And then I'm going to put it in my downloads folder. You can make a folder of STLs if you want and put it there. I'm just going to put my download folder and hit save. And I'm going to open up Bambu Studio. So let me save what I've got going on here. I'm going to start a new file. Okay. So here's what Bambu Studio looks like. You are going to be using an A1 Mini. So that's the first thing, is we want to make sure that we're using the A1 Mini. The diameter is a 0.4 standard flow nozzle. The filament we are using is generic PLA. And then you can pick whatever color you want. I usually want to have some contrast in it, so the gray is pretty good. Anything light is a good color so that you can see what's going on. And then inside of here, there is an A1 Mini engineering profile that you want to use that has 2 wall loops, 3 tops, 3 bottom layers, 8% gyroid infill, and it has normal supports enabled. So this is our standard settings for our classroom. This is the A1 Mini plate. It's got 2 tabs on the back. It's a smallish plate. It's only 7 inches cubed for our build volume, but it does the job for us. We then go to add, and we go find that particular file, which is in my downloads. And then it's going to be Puzzle Cube Wilkins PC. There it is. So I'm going to import that in. I just double click. And you can see there's my cube. But I don't want to print it as all one part like this. I want them to separate on the build plate. So I can right click, go to split to objects. And now they're separate objects. You can see that they now they fall over each other. So there's different pieces now that I can move around. If you then click this button, it will auto rotate them to use as little filament as possible and as little support. And this one's all messed up. So sometimes it'll do this kind of craziness. What you do there is you click on the lay on face. F is the hotkey, but lay on face, and then pick a face for it to lay on. So like, for example, here, this is going to have supports. There's no working around that. So just put it on here, put it like this, and then this will auto arrange it on the build plate. So if you've got other people's stuff, you can then do the same thing, add theirs, go to the flash drive that theirs is in, and pull their puzzle cube onto your build plate. And do the same thing, auto rotate it. Again, if you've got to lay them on faces, that's fine. If you don't like the orientation that they put it in, you can always change it. Just, click on the part, do lay on face, and then, pick a different face if you want. But you can lay it on different faces and then auto arrange on that. If you see that you don't need any supports, you can turn off supports. And then when you do your auto rotate, it can shrink them together because it doesn't need to have a place for the support to go. So they can be this close and will be just fine. Sometimes what I'll do is if I know that it needs support, I'll kind of move it to its side and then I'll put the other ones closer together. Like if I'm trying to stack a lot of them on here, like I can put them near each other and I can kind of manually just put where these other ones go. But in this case, I'm just printing mine. So that should be good. Hit slice plate. And then here's what we're looking for in our slice. Again, I want to see that was support made. So it did. It was made there. It looks good on the support. And then I also want to see, okay, did I get infill that's gyroid? So you can see here, gyroid looks like this. We talked in class, but the reason why we use gyroid is because it doesn't overlap like grid. So grid is the default. That's how I kind of know you didn't watch the video or you didn't pay attention to what you're doing, because you have grid infill. So if I go back here to the standard, it defaults to this standard profile. And if I slice the plate on that standard profile, it'll have grid infill. It has this. If I see this grid infill, I know that, nope, you didn't do what you're supposed to do. You picked the wrong profile. So make sure you are in the engineering profile for the A1 Mini. Slice that plate. Should be good. Should be gyroid. And there you go. We want to make sure that we have 3 bottom layers. You can see as I go from like layer 1, and then you can, I think you can use the up arrow. Yeah, there's 2 and 3. So it gives you 3 solid layers. Then it starts doing, well, that's kind of weird. So even though it has 3 bottom shell layers, because there's that fillet, it actually puts more bottom shell layers, it looks like. So it goes 5 layers because of the fillet right there. And then it's got 3 layers after the fillet. Interesting. Didn't know that. Anyway, gives you some bottom layers. It then does your support. You can see the supports as it's building up. And then when it gets to the top, you'll see that like here's a solid layer. There's 2, there's 3, and then it keeps moving. So you got 3 top layers on that part as well as it goes all the way up. You can see how long it's going to take. It's going to take an hour total time, and you can see how much filament it's going to use. It's going to use 22 total grams, 20 of it in model, and then 2 grams of support basically as it builds this. It does take some moment to prepare as it does an auto bed level calibration and all the things. But now you're ready to print plate. And then you can select which A1 Mini you're going to use. And then if you're going to use the one, for example, with the AMS, you can then select what roll of PLA filament you want to use. You just want to make sure that the printer you're using, first of all, has PLA in it. And then secondly, isn't being used by something else. You can't send it a file if it's being used. So let's say you got the A1 Mini white. Auto bed leveling should be on. Time lapse should be off. Flow dynamics should be on. And then you would hit send if it was available to be sent. And that's how you 3D print your parts. When they're done, they come out great. They look like this. The parts that had the support, they're going to be a little rougher than the parts without the support. So, you know, when this was printed, you can see there's a texture. So that was the bottom, but then you can see the parts because it printed like this on the build plate. So the bottom of this is a little rough, and the bottom under here, this overhang is a little rough, but it's not bad. There's some settings that you can change on those. But like I said, it's for what it is, it's pretty good. So there's your parts. That's your 3D print that we have going here. And there's our puzzle cube. So when it's all done, you got that guy, and then you should be good to go. All right. Have a great rest of the day, everybody.